You know, when you're using a powerful AI tool like Amazon Bedrock, there's this invisible guardian working 24/7 to keep everything safe and, well, responsible. But have you ever wondered how it actually works? Like, how does it protect everyone without snooping on your data? Okay, let's dive in and really unpack the automated safety systems right at the heart of Amazon Bedrock.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with AWS's core commitment to safety. Then, we're going to break down exactly how the automated detection system works. We'll also look at the zero-tolerance policy on illegal content, which is super important. After that, we'll cover what happens if a violation is flagged. And finally, we'll talk about your role in all of this because it's a team effort.
All right, first things first, the AI safety commitment. Look, the whole system is built on a foundation of trust. It has to be, right? AWS is all in on making sure AI is used responsibly. And that means building in mechanisms to prevent misuse from the get-go. And here's the crucial point. This all comes down to automated systems. These things are designed to be constantly on the lookout for potential violations of the rules, the acceptable use policy. It's all about making sure the service stays a safe place for everyone to innovate. So how does this automated guardian actually do its job? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside the system that's protecting both you, the user, and the AI models themselves. It's really a two-step dance. First, the system uses these things called classifiers. Their job is to automatically scan and categorize content, flagging anything that might be harmful in what you put in and in what the model puts out. Then, step 2, it looks at all that data and starts to identify patterns that could signal a bigger problem or a violation. Now, this slide is absolutely key. I want you to really let this sink in. It's a direct quote, and it's crystal clear. The whole process is automated. Let me say that again. No human ever reviews or gets access to your specific inputs or the model's outputs. Your data stays private, period. We just mentioned that word classifier. It is the absolute core of this whole detection engine.
It's what makes it all possible.
So what exactly is it? A classifier is basically a specialized algorithm. A good way to think of it is like a super fast, highly trained digital librarian. It looks at a piece of text or an image, and in a split second, it makes a judgment call. It assigns it a category, like, hey, this might be hate speech, and it also gives it a confidence score for how sure it is about that call.
And this chart really nails the privacy model. On one hand, AWS does share anonymized, high-level data from these classifiers with the model providers. Why? To help make the models safer for everyone. But, and this is the important part, what they absolutely do not share is your specific user inputs or outputs. Your raw data is never ever shared.
Okay, we need to shift gears and talk about the most serious category of abuse. Bedrock has an absolute zero-tolerance policy for child sexual abuse material, or CSAM. And for this, there's a completely separate rapid response protocol. The process here is swift and it is non-negotiable. First, automated tools detect apparent CSAM in image inputs. The moment that happens, bam, the request is instantly blocked. The user gets an error message, and third, a report may be filed with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. There is just no gray area here. Okay, so what about other types of policy violations? When the automated system flags something that isn't CSAM but still breaks the rules. Well, there's a clear, structured consequence framework for that too. It's not just an instant ban. The whole thing follows an escalating timeline. So after the system flags a potential violation, AWS might first reach out to you and just ask for more information about your use case. It's a chance to clarify things. But if a user doesn't respond or just can't comply with the terms, well, the final step could be suspending access to Bedrock. And hey, for all you developers out there, here's another really important detail to know. If you're fine-tuning a model and its responses end up violating a provider's policy, you might still get billed for that failed job. It's just a practical consequence to keep in mind. So all of this brings us to what might be the most important piece of the puzzle, your role. Because look, creating a safe and responsible AI world isn't just on the platform provider. It really is a shared responsibility. So what are the big takeaways for you? It really boils down to 3 things. First, make sure your content and your end user's content is totally free from anything illegal. Second, follow the rules in the acceptable use policy. And third, if AWS reaches out with questions, just be responsive. It's all about working together. At the end of the day, these safety measures aren't meant to be roadblocks. They're the guardrails. They're what lets everyone innovate and build truly amazing things with real confidence. When we all agree that safety is a shared responsibility, the future of AI gets a whole lot brighter. So, the only question is, are you ready to build?